Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts, here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity girls lacrosse contest between the visiting Wellesley High School Raiders and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Brookline coming into this contest with a 1-1 record. They won their season opener over Quincy High School last Friday, and then back on Tuesday they lost 10-7 in their home opener against King Philip. And now here they are against the Raiders, hoping to put up a good fight here against a local rival of sorts. Remember, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. I'll be back here at Downs Field on Saturday morning as Brookline will be hosting the Wolfpack of Boston Latin School for a 10 a.m. game back here at Downs Field. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel can help. And of course, as always, I encourage participation in the live chat. If you want to simply say go Brookline or go Wellesley, no matter who you're rooting for, we always appreciate the good vibes in the live chat. If there's a specific player you want to give a shout out to, maybe you're watching a family member or a friend or something like that, you want to give them a shout out, you can do so in the live chat. If you want to let us know where you're tuning in from with these online live streams, folks can tune in from all over the world, so that's always cool to hear about. Or if you notice any technical difficulties, that's always good to know. Maybe I've got the volume on my mic set too low or too high, or maybe the video quality is messing up. I know last time on Tuesday we had some issues with the Wi-Fi. Hopefully that's not going to happen again today. But I'll be on the lookout for that. And, if you notice anything, it might be something that I don't notice on my end, and it might be something that I can fix. So don't hesitate to speak up. And then, of course, if you notice me messing up the pronunciation of any players' names, again, on either team, then I encourage you to let me know in the live chat so I can give these student athletes the best coverage I possibly can. And on that note, let's take a look at the rosters for the two teams coming in today. Let's start over here on the right with the visitors in their black jerseys with white jersey numbers, the visiting Wellesley High Raiders. Going in order of jersey number, first off we have a sophomore, number 1, Maddie White. Another sophomore, number 2, Emery McGraw. A freshman, number 3, Reese Condi. A sophomore, number 4, Caitlin Uller. A sophomore, number 5, Olivia Camella. Freshman, number 6, Alexa Heller. A senior, number 7, Jessica LaPlaca. A senior, number 8, Kira DeOliveira. A junior, number 9, Riley Galen. A sophomore, number 10, Rachel Reisberg. A junior, number 11, Kaylee Renzella. A sophomore, number 12, Emily Munchak. A junior, number 13, Charlotte Condi. A freshman, number 14, Tara Battaglino. A freshman, number 15, Abby Beggins. A junior, number 16, Eliza Chapman. A junior, number 17, Alexandra Papavasilou. Junior, number 19, Mia Fazendero. Junior, number 20, McKay Pratt. Sophomore, number 21, Shannon Griffin. A senior, number 22, Sydney Moore. Senior, number 23, Taylor Reed. And a sophomore, number 24, Bryce Lane. So that is the roster for the Wellesley High girls lacrosse team of 2023. Now let's take a look over on our left wearing their white jerseys with dark blue jersey numbers and red outlines. Let's take a look at the roster for the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Again, going in order of jersey number, first off, we have a freshman, number 2, Sylvie Costant-Greeley. A sophomore, number 3, Sydney Bueno. A sophomore, number 4, Sasha Harwin. A freshman, number 5, Scarlett Rothstein. A sophomore, number 6, Sophia Liu. A senior, number 7, Julia Janowski. A senior, number 8, Riley Lackey. A senior captain, number 9, Faith Rothstein. A sophomore, number 10, Birdie Hawkins. A senior captain, number 11, Charlotte Smith. A freshman, number 13, Clara Tebow. A freshman, number 14, Priscilla Hill. A sophomore, number 15, Ayla Cohen. A sophomore, number 16, B. Palmer. A sophomore, number 17, Izzy Pace. A junior, number 18, Piper Kelly. A sophomore, number 19, Maggie Tien. A sophomore, number 20, Soo Jin Koo. A junior, number 25, Kaylin Currain. And a junior, number 28, Abby Cooney. Head coach of the Brookline High girls lacrosse team is Juliana Malloy. That is the roster for the hosting Brookline High Warriors. You can see the captains from both teams gathering at midfield with the official to decide, probably which side of the field they're going to have in the first half, which means we're almost ready to get this one underway. It is Brookline against Wellesley here at Downs Field. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching Brookline High Lacrosse. ISO, Hawkins comes across, trying to beat one defender, fires a shot and skips it in. Larson trying to come out the back, help defense comes, nice pass to a cutting Tulamari, stopped by Karain. Tien passes over to a cutting Rothstein, and Rothstein puts it home. Pass goes to Tien, Tien's got plenty of open space, just gonna charge across the middle, take one last shot, and that's the dagger! All right, we are soon going to get this one underway. Once again, it is Brookline against Wellesley. Just for some little factoids I got from the Wellesley coach before the game, 3 seniors that are going to be going on to play college lacrosse next season. Those 3 that I heard about being number 7, Jessica LaPlaca, number 16, Eliza Chapman, and number 22, Sydney Moore. I didn't have a chance to write anything down, and I'm not sure I remember all of the colleges. I believe he said that Sydney Moore is going to be going to Elon University next year, so that's a D1 school, so that's pretty impressive. So Wellesley has got some impressive athletes. But, just speaking of reasons to participate in the live chat, if you've got any tidbits you want to share about players that you know about, maybe you know of a player that's going to be going off to play in college next year, or maybe you know of someone who's already committed despite being a non-senior. Really, anything at all. Like I say, I always encourage audience participation. It's always a little fun. Adds a little bit of an interactive element to these live streams. And, cards on the table if there are any breaks in the action where I find myself drawing a blank on extra commentary I can give. Having those notes in the, having whatever kind of messages that I can read in the live chat is, always easy to fill those more silent gaps in the commentary. Again, just putting my cards on the table there. Brookline appears to be introducing, I think both teams are introducing their starting lineups at the same time. We obviously don't have a PA system here at Downs Field, so it's not like they're going to, have these super loud announcements of, who is who. So they're not, going to go one team at a time or anything like that, but you see some of the starters. I see number 9, Faith Rothstein, number 10, Birdie Hawkins, number 5, Scarlett Rothstein, I see there. Number 8, Riley Lackey. I see number 12, who's not on my roster, which is unfortunate. Number 18, Piper Kelly. Number 11, Charlotte Smith. Number 14, Priscilla Hill. I see number 4, Sasha Harwin. It's also possible that they're just like doing the pregame stick inspections, and so everybody's just going up in a line. I think that might actually be what's happening, so this might not actually be starting lineup, so don't quote me on that. That's always one of the, you cover different sports and you see all the different little, the little things that differentiate them. And, lacrosse is really the only sport where it's really like baked into the day-to-day game process that they have these inspections of the sticks and the nettings and all of that stuff. You don't really see that as much in other sports. In fact, I remember, because I used to cover college women's lacrosse as well back when I was in college, just working for the student paper. And whenever a goal was scored in women's lacrosse, they would have to, they would immediately drop their stick onto the ground because I guess after they score a goal, there needs to be some kind of an official inspection on top of that. Now, I don't see that at the high school level, and that might be an outdated rule. It has been more than a minute since I graduated college. But, just it's the little things. When you get to cover all these different sports like I do, as just a fan of the game, you get to notice these little things, and it's just interesting. We've got a jersey number correction here from Julia Janowski. Number 12 is Izzy Pace. So she's listed as number 17 on the roster, but she's wearing number 12. So thanks for the help with that, Julia. Since she's commenting, since you're commenting in the live chat, I assume that you're not playing today. And I hope it's not because you're hurt or anything. And if it is, I hope it's nothing too serious. And hope you get back out on the field soon. But I hope it's something a little more innocent, like, oh, you got to go on a college visit or something. Who knows? But the two teams huddling up now. You see the official at midfield getting ready to set us up for our opening draw. Brookline against Wellesley. In girls lacrosse, Brookline hoping to move back up above 500 against a tough Bay State Conference rival. For Brookline, number 28, Abby Cooney, setting up to take the opening draw. For Wellesley, number 15, Abby Beggins. Official setting us up. Warriors and Raiders, here we go. The opening draw bounces and is scooped up by Wellesley. That's number 17, Alexandra Papavasilou, with the opening pickup. Quick pass to number 4, who almost had an opening there, but not quite. That's Caitlin Uller, who now passes it along the back as Wellesley starts to get set. Around the horn they go. This is number 22, Sydney Moore, coming across, looking for a pass. Passes it over to Beggins. Beggins gives a pass over to Papavasilou. Comes across, shoots, and scores. Alexandra Papavasilou with the first goal of the game. Assisted by Abby Beggins. Now, once again, if there are any Wellesley fans in the live chat, and you notice me flubbing the pronunciation of any names, please let me know. Resetting for a new draw as the Raiders score on their opening possession to take an instant lead. This draw is going to be scooped up by Brookline's Charlotte Smith. Smith now running it in transition. Brings it into the attack area, still charging, hits a wall and passes it out to Maggie Tien. Tien coming off a 3-goal performance against King Philip. Passes up top to Faith Rothstein. Now a long pass over to Bertie Hawkins. That pass bounces, almost gets away, but is recovered by Tien. Now given back to Hawkins. Hawkins now over to, I believe, Piper Kelly, and now back to Hawkins. Hawkins coming across the top. She had 1 goal and 1 assist against King Philip. Now passes it. That's Rothstein now sending it back up top to, I believe, Tien. And that ball is knocked loose, but not cleanly. And that's going to be a foul. That was number 8, Kira De Oliveira, on the defense there. Tien passes across to Rothstein. Rothstein coming around the back. Pass misses Hawkins and goes out of bounds. And so that is going to be a turnover and give it to Wellesley. Coming out of the back and sprinting, I believe that's number 16, Eliza Chapman. Throwing it up now to Uller. Uller brings it into the attack area. She's got some open space to work. Finally hits traffic, and we've got a whistle. Looks like they called a foul against Brookline. Caitlin Uller going to have the free position chance. Charging in, shot, skips in. Wellesley now with 2 goals today as Caitlin Uller scores off the free position. An early 2-0 advantage for the visitors. And once again, it's going to be Cooney against Beggins on the draw. And this draw is going to be picked up by Beggins. Didn't get a lot of air on that one, and so Beggins just picks it up herself. Beggins looking around. Pass finds Papavassilou. Now pass almost gets away, but is going to be recovered by number 14, Tara Battaglino. Battaglino looking around. Passes to Moore. Moore gets around a defender, but just ends up going around the back. Now passes across, and that shot was walled off. Not sure if it was a defender or if it was the goalie, Kaylin Karain, but that shot by Uller does not find pay dirt. Karain floats a pass out to Riley Lackey. Lackey has to throw it back to Karain. Karain throws a long one up, and that is going to miss. And it's going to be taken off the bounce by Beggins as Wellesley takes it back. Pass goes up to Uller. Uller, pass finds Battaglino, walled off by Karain. Couple of nice stops by Kaylin Karain keeps this a 2-score game, and this long pass finds its mark in Maggie Tien. Tien bringing it into the attack area. Spins off a defender, trying to cut through a double team, but loses the ball, and it's taken back by the Raiders. And now we've got a foul, but they're just going to keep running with it. Or no, they do have to go back. Number 11, Kaylee Renzella is running with that one. Pass across to Chapman. Chapman throws pass up, finds Papavassilou. Now further up, this is number 7, LaPlaca scores. Jessica LaPlaca off the assist from Alexandra Papavassilou makes it a 3-0 game in favor of Wellesley. Oh, we did get a response to my question about Julia Janowski. She is headed on a college visit, but she's going to be back for Saturday morning's game against Boston Latin School. Now this draw is going to be scooped up by Smith. Pass up to Cooney. Cooney throws it further up to Rothstein. Rothstein holding it at the top. Now gives it to Smith, who swings it over to Cooney. And now out the back it is received by Tien. Tien trying to fend off her defender. Trying to spin around, nowhere to go as the help arrives, and she sends it up top to Rothstein. Floats it over to Hawkins. Hawkins spins, hits a wall, backs out, and comes around the back. Very physical defense from Wellesley as Hawkins lost the ball. She's got to chase that down. She will. Scoops it up and resets. Now manages to throw it up top to Cooney. Now over to Tien. Tien throws it up to Cooney. Cooney back to Tien. Tien gets around one defender, almost weaved around another, but lost the ball. It was knocked loose by Eliza Chapman. And Chapman again bringing the wheels in transition as she races up and passes it up to LaPlaca. Now pass to the back to Olivia Comella, excuse me. And now it's given over to Battaglino. Battaglino coming out the back, tries to weave through. Nowhere to go, she gives it to Moore. Moore charging in, weaving through, shot misses wide, might have been redirected. But Comella back there to maintain possession for Wellesley. Now this is LaPlaca. Pass back to Moore. Moore gives it to LaPlaca. LaPlaca charging in, gets her under defender, but the shot, it either missed wide or was turned aside by Karain. But again, Comella back there to maintain possession for the Raiders. Battaglino now with the ball. Turns around, passes through the middle, misses, too much traffic, but again it's recovered by Comella and passed out back to Uller. Uller passes, misses more. It's a loose ball, but it's recovered by Uller. Uller throws a pass, finds her target, walled off by Karain, but the rebound is recovered again, this time by Papavasalou. Comella out the back. Looking around, pass for Uller. Uller cuts around a defender, low shot, skips in. Caitlin Uller with her second goal of the day. Makes it 4-0 Wellesley. You know, that's one of the things that can be really tough is when your opponent is able to, you know, keep recovering those loose balls and keep having someone out the back to maintain possession after a missed shot. It can be really hard to just keep stopping them again and again and again. And you saw the result there. Wellesley had several offensive chances before ultimately finishing. This draw controlled by Charlotte Smith. Smith throws it up to Rothstein. And now flipped over to Cooney. Now up to Hawkins. Hawkins back to the middle to Cooney. Cooney trying to cut around, help defense arise, and she has to flip it out to Tien. Tien hits a wall, resets. Pass across to Kelly. Kelly throws it back up top to Tien. Tien looking around. Tries to approach. Again, the ball knocked loose, but this time not cleanly. Now Tien passes it over to Rothstein. Swings it over to Priscilla Hill. Now that pass almost intercepted, but does get to Smith. Now out back to Hawkins. Hawkins coming out of the back. Pass misses. Hill. Loose ball is going to be scooped up by Tien. Now over to Smith. Now behind and now back out to Tien. Up top to Hawkins. Hawkins looking around, nowhere to go, passes out. Now charging in is Smith, gets double teamed, passes it back out to Tien. Tien cuts around one defender, gets double teamed. Pass too hard, misses Kelly, but it just barely stays in the attack end. And so it will stay with Brookline. Tien passes up top to Rothstein, now over to Smith, and over to Hill. Now behind to Hawkins. Hawkins cutting across. Still looking, nothing there. Spins, still looking. And still nowhere to go as she passes it out to Tien. Tien gets around one defender, hits a wall, and draws a foul. So Tien going to have a free position chance here. Tien charges in, weaves through, and does score. I couldn't tell for a second. I thought she might have missed high, but she did not. She finishes. Maggie Tien gets Brookline on the board. You know, really such a testament to the Wellesley defense that I think that was actually the first shot that Brookline's been able to take so far today. But Maggie Tien does finish on the free position chance. And it is now a 4-1 score in favor of the Raiders. Back to the draw circle. And almost collected by Smith. Almost, and it is collected by Uller. Uller into the attack area. Tries to charge, but no openings. Swings it to the middle to Beggins. Beggins spins. Nothing there, but I think a foul was called. And so Beggins going to have a bit of a free position chance here. Charges in, shoots, and scores. Abby Beggins becomes the 4th different goal scorer for Wellesley so far, as Caitlin Uller has 2 goals, and then 1 goal each from Jessica LaPlaca, Alexandra Papavassiliou, and now off that last one, Abby Beggins. 5-1, Wellesley now leads Brookline. This one's up in the air. It's caught by Smith. Smith into the attack area. Now floats it over to Rothstein. Rothstein over to Hawkins. Hawkins up top to Cooney and over to Rothstein. And now back from Smith to Rothstein and now over to Hawkins. Hawkins spins, hits a wall. Passes it out to Tien. Now over to Rothstein. Back to Tien. Back to Rothstein, and again back up top to Tien. Now that pass finds Smith. Brookline tries to set up the ISO. Smith gets around, but hits a wall and has to float a pass. And now getting flattened on that play was, I believe, Tien. As again, the Wellesley defense playing very rough and tumble here at Downs Field. So Tien with a very strange angle out of the free position. Charging in, trying to fight through. Does get a shot off, misses high, but gets fouled on the shot, so she'll have another free position chance. No, not a foul. Just a shot that went out the back, and it appears Piper Kelly was the one who had the position there to keep it with Brookline. Kelly passes it out to Cooney. Up top to Smith. Smith lost the ball. And almost scooped up, and now it is scooped up by Papavassiliou. And now we've got another whistle. It's a foul against Brookline, and now Papavassiliou continues to run with it, gives it over now to Chapman. Chapman again racing it across midfield. Pass gets away from Moore, and it's stolen back, but it's knocked loose again. We've got a whistle. Ball's going to stay with Brookline. Good takeaway in transition by, I believe, Tien, as she now runs it into the attack area. Pass goes across to Cooney. Now to Hawkins, and to Tien to Smith. And back to Hawkins. Back over to Cooney. Cooney flips it up top to Hawkins. Hawkins fakes, gets around a defender, hits a wall, fires a long shot. It misses and is scooped up by the Raiders. And that long pass gets away from its target, but it is scooped up and kept with the Raiders. And that's knocked away, but not cleanly. And so it'll stay Wellesley ball. That is DeOliveira with the ball. DeOliveira surveying. Gives it to Moore. Moore trying to break through, lost the ball. It was knocked loose. Scooped up for a second by Brookline, and the foul is called. That was Clara Tebow who was starting to pick that up and drew the foul. Good crashing defense by Brookline there to cleanly take the ball away. As Lackey passes back to Corain, who floats one up to Smith. Excuse me. Smith racing it across midfield. Pass gets to Tien. Tien to Rothstein, to Hawkins. Back to Cooney. And across, gets away, but is scooped up and recovered by Tien. And now a pass is collected by Cooney. And now over to Hawkins. Hawkins racing across off the screen, floats a pass, finds Rothstein. Rothstein skips it in. Faith Rothstein off the assist from Birdie Hawkins. And it is now a 5-2 game in favor of Wellesley. Five to 2, the Raiders lead here in the first half. After falling behind 4-0 to start the game, Brookline has been fighting it fairly even since then. And now we get set up for another draw. This is going to be Cooney against Battaglino. Up in the air it goes. It's knocked into open space and scooped up by Uller. Uller into the attack area for Wellesley. Pass over to LaPlaca, now behind to Comella. Now to Beggins. Beggins surveying, gets a pass to LaPlaca, and LaPlaca scores. Through the narrowest of openings, Jessica LaPlaca breaks through and finds it top shelf for her second goal of the game. Six to 2, now the Wellesley advantage here in the first half. Off the draw, bit of a scrum, but it is taken by Rothstein. Rothstein flips it across to Hawkins, and Hawkins' pass gets away, but it is scooped up and recovered by number 21, who is not on my roster. So if anyone knows who number 21 is for Brookline, let me know, as that pass also gets away, and that's gaining too much speed, and that's going to bounce out of bounds. Tough turnover for Brookline. Chapman running with it for Wellesley. Cross midfield. Pass up to Moore. Moore's pass knocked down, but Moore recovers it. Now finds a pass, breaking through and score. And yes, scoring is Abby Beggins. That's her second. 2 goals each from Uller, LaPlaca, and Beggins. And 1 from Papavasalou make up the scoring for Wellesley. For Brookline, 1 each from Tien and Rothstein as a timeout is called here in the first half. Julia Janowski coming through for me again with the jersey number corrections. Ayla Cohen is 21, even though she is listed as 15 on the roster. Thank you again, Julia. And I see another name I recognize from the Brookline girls hockey team in Casey McCarthy saying, "Go Brookline" in the live chat. I always love that. I love seeing, you know, the fellow student athletes tuning in and giving support to each other. That's just awesome to me. And I mean, of course, a number of hockey, you know, hockey and lacrosse are those sports that always have a lot of, you know, tend to have like a lot of crossover, you know, at any school really. I mean, among the you know, just among the varsity girls hockey players, whose names I recognize on here. Of course, we've got Janowski, Riley Lackey as well, Bertie Hawkins, Izzy Pace, Clara Tebow, B. Palmer, and Sujin Koo. All names I recognize from covering Brookline High varsity girls hockey this past winter. And I'm sure there are some other names on here that might have been part of like the JV or freshman teams, and I just didn't get a chance to cover those teams. But, you know, a lot of names I recognize from various different sports. Out of the timeout we come. Brookline sending Maggie Tien to take the draw against Tara Battaglino. Draw is taken and almost picked up by Tien. Instead, it ricochets into the pocket of Abby Cooney. Cooney passes it over to Tien. Tien floats one over to Hawkins. Hawkins up top to Cooney. And now over to Smith. Now back up top to Tien. And that one juggled but recovered by Hawkins. Hawkins spinning against her defender, nowhere to go. Passes to a cutting Tien. Tien fakes, jukes, hits a wall, and has to retreat. Sends it back up top to Hawkins. Hawkins passes it inside, caught by Cooney, but stopped and saved by number 24, Bryce Lane. Lane hasn't been facing too many shots so far this first half, but makes a very nice save there. Good stop by the sophomore netminder for Wellesley. Number 11, Renzella, passes it back to De Oliveira. Now flips it over to number 6, Alexa Heller. Now up to Moore. Moore taking it slow here. Wellesley does have a 5-goal lead. They can afford to take their time. Now starting to move. Floats a pass, finds a cutting Uller, and Uller finishes. Caitlin Uller completes the hat trick with her third goal of the day and makes it an 8-2 Wellesley lead. Back to the draw we go, and it ricochets a little, but it is taken by Battaglino. Pass finds Papavasalou. Papavasalou pass gets away, but recovered by Moore. Moore gives it to the back to Beggins. Now to LaPlaca. LaPlaca cutting across, nowhere to go, out to Battaglino, who thought about the long shot, now fights her way through a couple defenders and scores. Tara Battaglino with her first goal of the day. 9-2, now the Wellesley advantage. And this one is snagged by Uller. Uller racing into the attack area. She's got 3 goals already. Looking around, she passes it out to Battaglino, who just scored her first. Battaglino surveying from the top, now spins around. Nowhere to go, flips it to Moore. Moore cutting across, passes it out to Uller. Uller cutting across, floats a pass into Battaglino, who misses it wide. But it is going to stay with Wellesley. Papavasalou passes it over to Battaglino. Battaglino tries to float one in, too much traffic. And it is scooped up by Brookline. Faith Rothstein snags that ground ball. Long pass deflected, but recovered by Hill. Hill racing it across midfield. Floats a pass up to Hawkins. Hawkins racing in, cutting across, turning around. Shot is walled off and taken back by the Raiders. Racing it up now for Wellesley is Ranzella, who now gives it to Moore. Pass out to LaPlaca. LaPlaca starts to approach, flips a pass over to Battaglino, juggled, but she does recover it. Pass over to Uller. Now behind to Comella. Back to Uller. Was a dangerous pass, and Uller had to recover that one there, which she does. Uller flips a pass up for Battaglino. Again, it's juggled. And again, they're scrumming for the loose ball, but it is again recovered by the Raiders. LaPlaca snags that one and gets it up to Moore. Moore floats one up to LaPlaca, cuts across. Shot is saved by... No, it's not saved. LaPlaca scores her third, and Wellesley reaches double figures. For a second, I thought Crane had made the save on that play, but not quite. Jessica LaPlaca with her third goal. She ties Caitlin Uller for the team lead. Draws up in the air, and it's scooped up by Uller. Now given to LaPlaca and back to Uller. Uller surveys, passes, finds a cutting LaPlaca, and LaPlaca instantly scores goal number 4. Off a nice assist from Uller, and that will make it 11-2 in favor of Wellesley. We got some support for Wellesley in the live chat from Elizabeth Battaglino. Go Tara. Of course, referring to number 14, Tara Battaglino, who was on the draw there. This draw control snagged by Maggie Tien and thrown up to Hawkins. Now given up to Smith, and now over to Rothstein. And now to Tien. Rothstein and Tien, the only ones who have scored for Brookline thus far. Rothstein starts to approach, looking, gives a pass out the back to Hawkins. Hawkins tried to sneak one in low, but it was blocked. Chased after, knocked out of bounds, and it is going to stay with Brookline. Tebow gives it over to Hawkins now. Hawkins floats one up top to Smith, and now over to Tien. Tien across to Hawkins. Hawkins looking for somewhere to go. Throws a pass that is lost, and the ground ball scooped up by the Raiders. That is Uller. Throws it up, juggled but recovered by Papavasalou. Now racing it upfield and gets fouled from behind. And that's going to set up a free position chance. Alexandra Papavasalou scored the first goal of the game out of a free position chance, and now she's got a chance for her potential second goal of the game. Charges in and skips it in. Goal number 2 for Papavasalou. And it is now a 12-2 lead for Wellesley. Up into open space, and it's going to be chased down by Battaglino. And that is going to end the half. Our score at halftime, the Wellesley High Raiders 12, the Brookline High Warriors 2. For Brookline, 1 goal each from Maggie Tien and Faith Rothstein. For Wellesley, let me see if I can sum this up because there's a lot. 4 goals from Jessica LaPlaca, 3 from Caitlin Uller. That makes 7. 2 from Alexandra Papavassiliou. That makes 9. And I want to say 2 from Abby Beggins, which should make 11, and then 1 from Tara Battaglino, I believe makes 12. I think that's right. During this halftime intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, 81 BHS students have received scholarships from this fund to help them as they build their futures. Your support is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And as always, you can find all the information about our local charity spotlight down in the description section down below. But for now, it is halftime. Wellesley 12, Brookline 2. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I'm going to take a brief break off the mic, but I'll be back for the second half. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Downs Field in Brookline, Massachusetts for today's high school varsity girls lacrosse contest between the visiting Wellesley High Raiders and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. As we get ready for the second half of this one, Wellesley with a comfortable 12-2 lead here at this midway point. Setting up for the opening draw of the second half. For Brookline, we have number 19, Maggie Tian, and for Wellesley, number 22, Sydney Moore. Five different goal scorers for Wellesley in the first half, 4 of them with multiple goals, 2 of them with at least 3. Jessica LaPlaca leading the way with 4 goals herself. For Brookline, Tian and Faith Rothstein each had 1. Off that draw, it's controlled by Caitlin Uller. Uller passes it up to LaPlaca. LaPlaca sends it around the back. Now floated in and intercepted by Kaylin Carrain. Long pass goes up to Birdie Hawkins, who assisted on Rothstein's goal in the first half. And that pass gets away but is recovered by Rothstein. Now up top to Tian and over to Hawkins. And back to Tian. Excuse me. Over to Rothstein. Now down to Piper Kelly. Now around the back. Coming out of the back, pass to a cutting Rothstein, and Rothstein finishes! It's Hawkins to Rothstein for the second time today, as Brookline scores the first goal of the second half. Off the draw, it's knocked loose and scooped up by Uller. Uller racing, passes up, shot is in. That goal scored by number 13, Charlotte Condi. That is her first goal of the day. That marks the 6th different goal scorer for Wellesley so far in this one. Wellesley goes back up by 10. Draw is snagged by Rothstein. Rothstein into the attack area. Throws it up top to Tian. Now over to Hawkins. Hawkins spins, loses her footing, but does draw a foul. Out of the foul, Hawkins' pass misses Kelly, and it's going to go out of bounds and go to Wellesley. You know, that's one of the things that Brookline just has to keep working on as a program, just the sharp execution of the passes, as this one is actually missed by Wellesley, and the ground ball picked up by Rothstein. Pass misses, and it's going to go back to Wellesley. Condi passes it back to Chapman. Chapman running it in transition into the attack area and gives it to Condi. Now over to Uller. Uller fakes out one defender, but gets double teamed. Brookline defense showing respect for Caitlin Uller, who had 3 goals in the first half for Wellesley. Uller looking for somewhere to go. Passes it to the back to Olivia Comella. Now back out to Condi. Long pass. Cross to La Placa. Now over to Moore. Moore floats one over to Condi. Condi to the back to Comella. Comella's pass up top to Uller. Uller around one defender, but help comes, but there is a foul. This will be a free position chance for Caitlin Uller. Charging in, shot, saved by Corain, rebound, recovered by Uller, and Uller sneaks it in low. 4th goal of the game for Caitlin Uller, as Wellesley goes up by 11. Appreciate the moment, folks, because it's not often in lacrosse that you see someone snag an offensive rebound like that. Because usually with the way that a lacrosse ball bounces so much, if you miss a shot and it doesn't wind up in the pocket of the keeper, it's flying far away from wherever you shot it from. But that one just happened to bounce right back to Uller, and she recovered it and put in the low shot for the score. And now Uller scoops up the draw control there. Throws a pass over to Battaglino. Battaglino with 1 goal so far today. Floats a pass to the back. Wellesley looking around the back. Pass finds Comella. And she does score, but the whistle was blown. And so that goal might not count. That's one of the things about lacrosse. If the foul is called before you take the shot doesn't count. So a free position chance instead for Wellesley. Charging in and finishing off the free position now is Olivia Comella. 15-3, Wellesley leads Brookline. Draw up in the air into open space and taken off the bounce by Charlotte Smith. Ball gets flipped back to Smith, and now over to number 21, Ayla Cohen. Cohen Approaching, flips a pass over to Tien. Tien trying to fight through the double team, lost the ball, recovers it, but there is a whistle for a foul. Free position chance for Tien. She's scored 1 out of the free position so far today. Tien charges in and scores. Maggie Tien with her second goal of the day. 15-4 now the score. So Maggie Tien with 2 goals out of the free position today. Wellesley still leads by 11. And this one is taken by Papavasalou. Papavasalou throws it over to Condi and now to the back to Comella. Comella passes it across. Now over to Papavasalou. Papavasalou fakes but hits the double team and backs out. Gives it over to La Placa and now to Uller. Now Wellesley working it around. Battaglino floats it inside and finds Papavasalou, and Papavasalou scores her second goal of the day. (16-4), Wellesley leads Brookline here in the second half. Now back to the draw circle. Up in the air, it is caught by Uller. Uller throws it over to Condi. Now flipped over to Battaglino. Battaglino spins, approaches, weaves through, shoots, and scores. I believe that is 2 now for Battaglino. Hard to say. Getting tough to keep track of who's got how many at this point, when accounting for 17 total goals for the Wellesley Raiders today. Off the draw, it's knocked into open space and ultimately scooped up by Hawkins. Hawkins gets swarmed and a foul is called. Pass over to Tien and over to Rothstein and to Cooney. And now to number 4, Sasha Harwin. Now they swing it around, and it gets to Tien. Tien trying to work against one defender, ultimately throws a pass, and it's dropped and scrummed for and picked up ultimately, but the pass is missed by Wellesley, and so it's going to go right back to Brookline. What a chaotic sequence that was. Brookline holding it out back. I believe that is Hawkins with the ball. Looking, passes it out to Tien. Tien passes away to Cohen, who then gives it back to Tien, gets away from her, but she scoops it back up. Tien passes over to Rothstein. Rothstein cutting across. We've got a whistle. Not sure what happened there, but Brookline is going to get a chance out of the free position. This is Rothstein setting up. Charges in, fires a shot, and scores. Faith Rothstein with the hat trick. That is 3 goals for the senior captain so far today. (17-5) is the lead for Wellesley at this point in the second half. Off the draw. It is ultimately scooped up by Cooney. Cooney floats up a long pass, gets it to Rothstein. Rothstein surveying her options. Throws one over to Cooney. Cooney approaches, hits a wall, and sends it up top to Tien. Tien holding it up top, gets around one defender, trying to cut across, lost the ball. The Wellesley Raiders very effectively neutralizing the footwork of Maggie Tien as they go on the attack here, but the ball is knocked loose, ultimately scooped up by number 9 and passed out to number 13, Condi. Number 9, Riley Galen. Pass goes out to Uller. And I believe it is still Uller with the ball, just sort of walking around, taking her time. Fakes the flip pass, comes across, fires a shot, and scores. I believe that is 5 goals now for Caitlin Uller, as Wellesley takes an 18-5 lead. Off the draw, it is collected by Smith. Passed over to Cooney. Cooney lost the ball for a second, but recovers it. Cooney gets into the attack area. Floats one up to Smith. Smith passes across. This is Hawkins with the ball now. Hawkins looking around, passes over to Cooney, and now over to Harwin. Back to Cooney, almost lost it. Now it's knocked loose by Battaglino, and she takes it back. Battaglino racing up the field, pass misses Condi, and is going to be taken back by Scarlett Rothstein. But now it's knocked loose and a foul is called. And it's going to stay with Brookline. Pass is juggled and lost, taken back by Uller. Wellesley working it around the horn here. Condi comes around, fires a shot, and scores. Second goal of the day for number 13, Charlotte Condi. 19-5, now the Wellesley lead. Back to the draw circle, it'll be Cooney against Battaglino. Off the draw, it's bouncing along. Ultimately scooped up by Papavasilou. Papavasilou with 2 goals so far today, one of a number of multi-goal scorers for Wellesley. And that's another one in Charlotte Condi. She's also got 2. Working it around. Goes out to Battaglino, who I believe also has 2. And now up to Uller, who I believe has 5. Uller floats it over to Battaglino. Now over to Condi. Now bounce pass to Uller. And now floated over to Battaglino, flipped over, and now they're passing it around again. Pass goes out now to Papavasilou. Up top to Uller. Now over to Battaglino again. Now flipped over to Beggins and to Uller and to Battaglino and back to Beggins. Beggins, I believe, another one with 2 goals for Wellesley so far, as it's given back to Uller. Wellesley able to just kill some clock at this point as a foul is called, and I believe they issued a yellow card against Brookline there. Uller approaching, pass to Battaglino. Battaglino backing down, has to retreat, pass out to, I believe, Condi. Condi flips it to Uller. Now Approaching is number 1, weaving through. Shot is saved by Karain. Maddie White is turned aside on her attempted shot there. White coming back out of the corner, passing it out the back. Pass comes out to Battaglino. Battaglino flips it back out to Uller. Uller turns around, throws a pass over to Condi. Condi trying to fight her way through, and she's walled off by Karain. Karain looking for an outlet while being pressured by Condi. And whistle is blown, as I believe they called a foul on Wellesley there. Now Karain throws a long pass, completes it to Rothstein. Rothstein racing upfield. She's got 3 goals so far today. Floats one over. Now back to Rothstein and up top to Tien. Tien over to Smith. Smith over to Rothstein. Rothstein passes over to Hawkins. Hawkins looking around. Has to pass out to Tien. Tien weaving her way through. Charging shot misses. Couldn't tell if that one bounced high or wide, but either way it missed. It will stay with Brookline, as Hawkins had her covered out the back. Tien again with the ball. But that's going to be the final buzzer, and that is going to be your ball game. The final score here at Downs Field, the Wellesley High Raiders 19, the Brookline High Warriors 5. Wellesley asserts itself well as a strong program, capable of sending multiple players off to the college ranks. Brookline gave it a fight, and, early on, it looked like they might be able to keep it a little manageable. At one point, it was 5-2. But then Wellesley scored 7 unanswered goals before halftime to make it 12-2. And from there wasn't much chance Brookline was going to come back. Final tallies for Brookline: 3 goals from Faith Rothstein, 2 goals from Maggie Tien, and 2 assists from Birdie Hawkins make up their offensive numbers. For Wellesley, it's going to be a little harder, but I'm going to try my best. 5 goals, I believe, by Caitlin Uller to lead the way, 4 from Jessica LaPlaca, and then I believe 2 each from Charlotte Condi, Tara Battaglino, Abby Beggins, and Alexandra Papavasilou. So I believe that accounts for 8 goals plus the 9 I already mentioned. And then I believe 1 was scored by Olivia Comella. And I think I'm missing 1, but like I said, bit hard keeping track of everything when there's 19 total goals. Brookline falls to 1-2 on the year, but they will be back in action back here at Downs Field on Saturday morning against the Boston Latin School Wolfpack. Be sure to stay tuned for that. I will have that live on this channel as well. But for this stream, that's going to wrap things up. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, including Saturday morning's game against Boston Latin School. And if you have anything you would like to say, then I encourage you to say it in the comment section down below after the stream is concluded. Also, you can go down below to the description section of the video to find all the information you need about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. You can see a link to their website and the phone number, where you can contact them to find out more about their scholarship fund for Brookline High School students, as well as the many other grant programs they have going on to help other initiatives throughout the town of Brookline. Also, check out the bottom right corner of your screen. You'll see the URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. Below that, my email address, jgms88@gmail.com. You can contact me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And below that, the URL to my Instagram account, instagram.com/jgms88. You can follow me on Instagram, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Final score, Wellesley 19, Brookline 5. From Downs Field, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a great rest of your day.